Alright, hey guys, Pax here, welcome back to another Pokemon Pocket video. As the title states, we're going to be going over Mega Absol EX. This basic Mega Evolution Pokemon has currently been sweeping the meta, and in my opinion fits very well with the overall Darkness archetype. But yeah, this is Mega Absol right here, HP 170, of course, basic. Has 1 attack, Darkness Claw, does 80 damage, requires 2 Darkness Energy, and after attacking, your opponent reveals their hand, choose a supporter card you find there, and discard it. Retreat value of 1 and weak to Grass. And in regards to the deck, there's a deck right here. This deck is very fun because there's a lot of ways to lead with this. Variations of this deck have been rather prominent from tournaments this past week. And with that being said, I'll definitely be making a video just covering tournaments from, this past week. Should be coming out either tomorrow or in a couple days. But yeah, I'll explain more about this deck as we progress into the battles. But yeah, if this is your first video on my channel, hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Also, right when I started recording this, somebody just started mowing their lawn outside my house. So just perfect timing. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right in to the deck showcase. All right, here we are in our first battle. We are going first. More specifically, we are going against the Mega Gyarados EX solo deck. And again, if you guys are new to my deck showcases, how these deck showcases usually work. First battle is a solo battle, just to get the feel for a deck. Next two will be in PvP. So hand-wise, yeah, this is not that good. Ideally, if you do go turn 1, you kind of want to have Pichu in your active. Regardless, okay, this should be okay. If anything, Lucario can start attacking in a couple of turns. For now, just to kind of disrupt my opponent, might as well just red card and end my turn. Okay, interesting. So he did sub into Mantike. Nice, we got Mega Absol, that's pretty cool. All right, so we can very much run a 1-1-3 strat right here. So lead with Pichu. Once Pichu gets knocked out, or Lucario, then eventually sub into Absol, because Pichu will most likely die next turn. So for now, let's do this. And it seems like he'll be playing most likely with Frillish, subbing into Jellicent, and eventually just save Mega Gyarados for the late game. Interesting, using Mantike for one more turn. So he copycatted, evolved into Gyarados. Still trying to get Jellicent. Unfortunate, just can't get that copy. But for now, we can just be super aggressive with Lucario. Yeah, for now, just do this. And we're pretty much set. I feel like to make this a little bit better, we could have another copy of Lucario. Because having 2 Lucarios out, especially going against a deck that's like has a high usage of EXs, it's hard to deal with. Because I mean, your opponent, like they try to repel or Sabrina, you can just sub into other Lucario. And it's a literal like perpetual wall. Like your opponent really can't compete. But yeah. Especially with this bad RNG. This guy's getting pretty bad RNG. Look at that. As I was talking, we got Lucario. At this point, might as well start building Absol so we can see him in a couple turns. And yeah, there's really nothing he could do. Like this setup is very goated because Gyarados can't do anything. I feel like this is where this deck shines. Like Absol is good. Sure, it's very good for disruption. But another strat is to lead with 2 Lucarios. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to play this deck. You can either lead with Darkrai. Hopefully you see that later on. Lead with Darkrai. Or you could just lead with Absol early game. Or you could just do this, as I stated, like, yeah, Pichu, eventually sub out Pichu into Lucario, and just be in a literal wall. Like, there's really nothing he could do right now. I just have to kind of beat him up, and eventually I will win. All right, so very straightforward. Just attack with Lucario. A lot of cards. He could play with Jellicent, but at the same time, he has to discard a lot of... He has to retreat from Mega Gyarados. That's going to set him back tremendously if he does. And I got Cyrus, so I can just keep on bullying this Mega Gyarados just in case of that he decides to retreat. Did lose Darkrai. Again, Darkrai's just here just for a little cameo, trying to get a bit of royalties because of his popularity. Not really that essential in my opinion. Like, it's good, but I mean, it's not the main focus. I mean, if anything, Lucario and Mega Absol are more prominent. It will be more prominent, of course. So yeah, at this point, just very straightforward. I could copycat just to BM, but it's fine. We can just do this. Yeah, so in a couple turns, Mega Gyarados will die. Literal wall, man. And again, subbing into Jellicent, I got Cyrus. So I can just Cyrus. This is literally like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat just being like, get over here, messing him up. And yeah, this deck feels rather cheesy. Like, I'm kind of cheesing this battle, I'll be honest. I feel like it kind of encompasses that darkness cheese, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of darkness, especially depending on the archetype. Like, the Poison archetype feels kind of cheesy, kind of like, you want to maximize this DOT, kind of like that. Whereas for this one, same thing, just using Lucario to be an absolute wall. And if I want, I might as well do this, why not? Let's get Absol in here, just to kind of steal the spotlight from Lucario for a second. So subbing into Absol, amazing just to disrupt your opponent, especially with this combo right here. So my opponent has 4 cards. I could red card, and after attacking, if my opponent has 1 supporter card in their hand, I can just shuffle it back into their deck, and next turn you're gonna only have 3 cards. So yeah, GG. Again, a lot of talking, but I'm just kind of trying to explain my thought process here, how to play the game, how to play this deck specifically. GG. Yeah, that's this is Mega Absol in a nutshell. You have to play it very carefully. Again, very carefully, since this card, especially if your opponent bullies Mega Absol early game, you're gonna have a hard time winning, but that's why you kind of have to play it kind of carefully. But yeah, GG. Mega Gyarados EX stands no chance. Debatably, I don't know. I don't want to say it's the worst EX. Pretty decent, but can't compete against the other EXs, especially Mega Absol. But as you can see, my opponent has no supporter cards, but either way, I mean, this is pretty good, especially towards the early game. You can kind of tell what your opponent has or like what your opponent is planning. So yeah, GG. And we shall see how this deck performs in PvP. Amazing setup. We have Lucario right here, as well as Darkrai, just doing a bit of chip damage in a couple of turns. Interesting. Okay, so very straightforward. Just do this. Do that. Might as well red card just to mess them up a little bit. Keep in mind for this deck, we are running 2 red cards just to maximize the pairing with Absol. Just a red card plus Absol EX's attack ability. So yeah, just do this. Feed Lucario. And what's cool about Pichu is that Pichu can also help Darkrai. Because keep in mind, Darkrai requires 2 darkness and 1 colorless. So yeah, if I want to, I can just feed his Darkrai EX, making it so that in a couple of turns, Darkrai can just start attacking. Interesting. Okay, so playing with Pikachu. Looks like my opponent is playing building up that Pikachu, but guess what? If I can get another Lucario, this would be huge. And I got Absol. Okay, I like the looks of this. I really do. Because, damn, yeah, my opponent can't do anything. If they try to Sabrina, I'm just gonna sacrifice this baby. This is the sacrifices you have to make in this game, man. Sacrificing an innocent Pichu if my opponent does decide to Sabrina, like, yeah, that's part of the game. It's this game really does taint your conscience. And okay, okay, a lot of talking, but Lucario, just amazing head start. Just if you can get a good setup for this deck, then your opponent really can't keep up. All right, next battle, going first. We are going against Water. Interesting. 2 red cards. Nice. This is a very interesting starter hand. Oh gosh. Oh no, this might be... Actually, this could work to our favor. I might be playing an 18 trainer Miltank deck. All right, we got Absol right here. This is good. And we got another Absol. Okay, sure. At this point, might as well... Absol will be attacking in 2 turns from now. So yeah, at this point, do that. Red card. Very awkward. This setup is rather awkward, but I mean, sure, we can just chill like this for now. Yeah, just feeding this Absol. Hold up. What is he doing? You got a Suicune? Okay. This is rather scary. This Miltank might be a threat. Okay, so we gotta get... This is the main downside for this deck. Like, this deck performed very well in tournaments, but it really depends on your setup. Like, it depends on your RG still. Like, if you get a pretty interesting starter hand just like this, then you are going to struggle. I mean, especially with Miltank. I mean, Miltank is not really that popular, but doing 40 next turn is able to one-shot his Pichu. And of course, the scales in damage over time. Rather scary, but at the same time, I mean, our setup really isn't that bad. I mean, might as well do this. Feeding Lucario next turn, Absol can attack. And in 2 turns, this Miltank will be destroyed. A lot of cards, but again, we have a red card just to mess him up. Definitely gonna do that next turn. Our Pichu is gone, but sacrifice will not be in vain. We got Cyrus, nice. So yeah, very straightforward. At this point, let's do this. Red card, attack, and in a couple turns, Miltank should be knocked out. Interesting. Has a Cyrus and Leaf. I feel like in this scenario, a Leaf might be more impactful. And if anything, next turn I can just target that Cyrus. Miltank getting 1 more attack, doing 70. A lot of damage, but we do have PC Lady again just to counteract said damage. This is kind of calculated. So next turn, Suicune might be able to do 80 damage. 60 to 80, okay. Alright, so at this point, you might as well chill like this. Very straightforward. Let's do this. Darkness Claw. Getting rid of that Cyrus. So, yeah. It's going to be down to 2 cards next turn. Yeah, honestly, Mega Ampharos is such a go-to card, specifically because of ability. It's like, being able to discard a card is insane. Like, if it was like Silver, where like, you'd just be sent back to the deck, could mess you up a bit. However, since you can just bully your opponent, it makes it so satisfying. So at this point, yes. Just might as well... Sure, let's do this. I feel like discarding that Cyrus really does get a lot of value because usually for most decks, they only run 1 copy of Cyrus. The deck can very much run 2, but at the same time, I mean, it's going to be really hard for my opponent to win. They have 3 cards, 10 cards, so I mean, their chances of getting another Cyrus is rather low. At this point, it's punishing the Suicune. Next turn, if he doesn't sub out or Irida, I basically win. And if he does start to sub out, I have Cyrus. So yeah, you kind of see how the potential of this deck. This deck has a lot of potential, and look how toxic this field is. 2 Lucarios, 2 Absols. Next turn I can sub into this Absol and just attack. Yeah, tries to sub out in Desperation. Opponent tries to sub out in Desperation, just like leading with the Suicune, but it doesn't matter because I have a Cyrus. And yeah, honestly, I might as well just finish it off in style. Just subbing in the other Absol. This deck feels so nice, especially after you just get rid of that Cyrus. Because I mean, yeah, I feel like Cyrus is definitely one of the most popular win conditions, like the most effective win condition in this game. If you can literally just like bench Cyrus just out of the game, be like, you're gone forever, yeah, you're getting a lot of value. And as you can see, this Mega Absol just continues to just be an absolute menace. All right, next battle. Oh gosh, dude, Mega Ampharos. We might be going against a Mega Ampharos, okay? Okay, we can definitely just chill like this for now, sure. Yeah, might as well red card just to disrupt my opponent a little bit. Giovanni Max. This is the max version of Giovanni we are going up against. Pretty scary, but yeah, at the same time, again, Oricorio is a literal wall. Hold up. Wait, what was that? Opponent used Penny. Okay. It used Penny to use Copycat. Sure. So essentially a Iono. That's interesting. It's been a while since I actually saw Penny. You guys don't know this card literally copies a random support card from my deck. So yeah, that's okay. That happened. Nice. Opponent only has one card. Sub out of Oricorio, just kind of build, just get ready for this bird to start attacking. Most likely this bird got the shiny Oricorio right here. And not as much aura as this one, of course. It's Crackly Toss. Feed Oricorio. Our opponent is manually building up Flaffy. Okay. That's good to know. At this point, might as well just be super aggressive onto this said Flaffy. Again, this is what I was talking about earlier. The playstyle for this deck can be rather slow. But next turn, we are doing 70 damage, which is pretty nice. Just like pairing Oricorio's attack with Darkrai EX's ability, which is why, again, Darkrai is amazing just as a support, as an offensive support, pretty much. All right, so Mega Ampharos is here. First time actually going up against this card. Like, I played several battles already, and first time actually seeing this guy in action. So, yeah, it kind of tells how effective this Mega is. Yeah, that's pretty sad. I mean, Mega Ampharos is a very fan-favorite Pokemon, but it is what it is. I Giant Cape this Pichu because, again, if you guys don't know Mega Ampharos, after attacking, one of your opponent's bench Pokemon is chosen at random 3 times. For each time a Pokemon was chosen, do 20 damage to it. So let's say this Pichu was chosen 2 times. This Pichu will take 40 damage, leaving it at 10 HP. So right now, very straightforward, just pricking this Ampharos. Slowly but surely chipping this Ampharos. But again, keep in mind, if my opponent does pull a Lily, it's going to be a couple turns. It's going to be very annoying, but at the same time, looking at our bends, Darkrai EX is slowly getting fed. So yeah, we're pretty much just kind of stalling for time. Okay, never mind. He subs in Oricorio. This Oricorio cannot, cannot one-shot this one. So interesting, just attacking like that. But kind of a rookie mistake, I'll be honest. I mean, if anything, I might as well just heal this Oricorio, sure. Because I can just one-shot this bird right here. The shiny bird, trying to be flashy, but that does not intimidate me because 50 plus 20, 70, one-shotting this guy. And at this point, it's pretty much GG if my opponent can't evolve into Lily. So, yeah, that's, again, a lot of playstyles. You can either be super aggressive with Mega Absol or just do this. Just be super laid back, just having 2 Oricorios or like 1 Oricorio out, just being an absolute menace. Alright, next battle going first. We are going against a fire deck. Most likely a Blaziken deck, and looking at our hand, yeah, this is not ideal. My opponent is pretty much set up, just kind of has to prioritize building this Torchic, also going second, which is not good for us. I'll Giant Cape early just to kind of hopefully bait a Guzma, but for now, end my turn. This is all I could do, and we're not doing any damage until like 3 turns later. Once we can get Darkrai EX fed, and keep in mind, Oricorio, a good wall, and we have PC Lady to kind of counteract Mega Blaziken EX's burnt damage. But without Pichu, luckily we did pull Pichu. Without this baby Pokemon, Oricorio is doing nothing. Just kind of forming aura. And depending on the matchup, it'll be rather difficult to kind of like counteract my opponent's Pokemon. But with that being said, I mean, at this point, not that bad. So we can just red card just to kind of mess him up a little bit, hopefully. Crackly Toss. Next turn, Oricorio can just start attacking. Interesting hand. We have 2 PC Ladies basically supporting Oricorio eventually when Mega Blaziken EX will come out. But keep in mind, Oricorio attacking Mega Blaziken EX, it will take you around 3 to 4 turns to knock out the opponent. It's going to be a 3 to 4 hit KO. So, yeah. I mean, we do have Darkrai, so we can play, definitely play with that. But it's a rather slow battle. I wonder... Okay, my opponent is tabbed out because this will be a rather long battle. Like, my opponent has to play around Oricorio. They can very much do that, especially with Repel. But, I mean, if I have to, I can just retreat out of Darkrai, and then we also have PC Ladies as well. Oh. I kind of want to do this, man. 6 cards, we're at 3? I'm tempted, but... Okay. So, on one hand, having... Okay, how many... Okay, so I have 11 cards. On one hand, having 2 PC Ladies, this could help us out in the long run. Screw it, I'm just gonna do it. Why not? Hopefully I can get both PC Ladies. This could mess me up, but I just can't... I can't pass on this, man. We got 1. Okay. Pokeball. Professor. Mega... Okay. Okay, not that bad. Honestly, this could help us out. We did red card, so this could disrupt him a little bit. My opponent's still trying to get out that Mega Blaziken. Nice, we got Mega Absol out. Pretty good. At this point, yeah, to start feeding this Darkrai. So we can start feeding him in a couple of turns for now. Yeah, feed a Darkrai EX. Attack with Oricorio. Alright, my opponent finally gets Mega Blaziken out. Took a while. But, yeah, Entei, this farming aura, this is pretty good. Especially if you can get a Cyrus from this professor's research. Oh, yes. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this deck, in a nutshell, Okay, so if he does try to repel or Sabrina, sub in the other Oricorio, can't do anything. I have PC Ladies to deal with this chip damage that my opponent will do to this Oricorio. And I can do this. This feed is Darkrai. My opponent has to heal this Entei next turn. If they can't, then it's GG, because I do have Cyrus. So either heal or red card or Marsby. Look at that. You love to see that. And only doing 20 to 40. But of course, we do have PC Lady. Yeah, I did feel that. Pretty unfortunate, but I mean, there's nothing you could do. Just Cyrus, GG. Yeah, that's why this deck is rather toxic to go up against, because you have 2 reds to mess up your opponent, especially in the meta, like post-meta, where like we had like the dogs that like are amazing just like to generate this passive cards just very fast. Sylveon EX as well. You have 2 right cards to counteract that, and on top of that, of course, Mega Absol, just to like limit them even more, essentially removing win conditions from the game. Yeah, there's really nothing you could do. Just, especially if they get pretty bad RNGs, like messing them up, making so that my opponent can't build up. They really can't compete. Yeah, GG. That's his deck in a nutshell. This is, yeah, this Oricorio Absol Dominance. And yeah, that's a Mega Absol EX / Oricorio deck showcase. A perfect balance from hand disruption as well as in-game disruption. Oricorio, this, yeah, again, a huge wall against EX Pokemon. And granted, there are EX Pokemon such as Darkrai, and of course, as you can see from this video, Blaziken EX, Mega Blaziken EX, that can do passive damage on to Oricorio. But guess what? We have PC Lady. Yeah, so just healing that burn damage, healing that Darkrai damage, just like, yeah, just removing special conditions as well, getting a lot of value. On top of 2 reds, just being an absolute menace. Overall, I'd rate this deck S tier. Hands down S tier. Feels kind of awkward to use, especially with Oricorio, because I mean, Oricorio, amazing just like as a wall, but I mean, you could do damage as well. There's a mix of decent damage as well as being a wall, especially paired with Darkrai EX's passive. But the only way for Oricorio to attack is, of course, with Pichu. I mean, you could very much run dual type, but I mean, that'll make it rather inconsistent for Absol, as well as Darkrai if you want to just keep on maximizing the Pokemon's ability, because it only applies to Darkness Energy. But yeah, if you're thinking of investing into a deck, I feel like this is a very good, safe bet to do so, because I mean, looking at all the cards, Oricorio currently just has always been meta relevant, basically ever since the card came out, especially with the Lightning Archetype getting a lot of buffs. And as you can see from here, like, yeah, even outside Lightning Archetype, Darkrai, yeah, this has been super meta relevant ever since it came out. Won't really go anywhere. And as for Absol EX, good card, but I feel like when it comes to all these cards, if anything, like I feel like when Power Creep hits, it'll most likely hit this Absol or this Oricorio. Again, if they add a card with Oricorio that kind of like negates abilities, essentially making it free game for EXs to bully this card for like, let's say like a round, then yeah, it might be over for Oricorio. But for now, in some cases, this card is literally unstoppable. And that's the deck showcase. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Again, my next video should be going over tournaments this week. A lot of good tournaments, a lot of interesting decks, and it kind of is ironic. There are a lot of decks, in my opinion, that a lot of people expected to perform rather well, but just underperformed. But again, keep in mind, still relatively early in the meta, so we shall see how things change over time. But yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.